Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. VL from the Department of English, Kundoti Government College. And in this video lecture, we will look into the concept of plagiarism, what are the types of plagiarisms, and how to avoid plagiarism. It is the fifth module of creative writing paper meant for fifth semester functional English students. Plagiarism is a kind of intellectual theft or stealing somebody's idea and presenting it as yours. The word plagiarism is derived from a Latin word, plagiarius, which meant kidnapper. Kidnapping is taking somebody away from someone with force or without permission, without the knowledge of the other person. When you try to steal somebody's text or word or idea and incorporate those ideas, words in your writing without acknowledging the source of information, it becomes plagiarism. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines plagiarism as the use of other people's ideas or words and presenting them as yours, your own ideas. There is nothing wrong in taking information, in taking ideas of other people, but what you have to do is you have to cite it properly. The term citation means acknowledging the source of information which you have used in your writing or in your speech, wherever it is. In simple terms, plagiarism can be defined as using information without citation, without saying or without acknowledging that you have taken this information from a particular author or from a particular source. And plagiarism is a kind of intellectual theft. It's a kind of stealing because the concept of intellectual property says that if I have written something, if I have introduced or found out an idea, or if I have presented or documented an idea, I am the owner of that particular idea or that particular intellectual property. And if you try to use it in your text without saying that this is taken from so and so author, it becomes a part of plagiarism. So this is stealing somebody's intellectual property and which is legally punishable. And again, plagiarism is regarded as a great offense in academic circles because academic honesty is very important. You have to be very true to what you do, and you have to be very true to in the research and presentations, seminars, and papers that you do in the course of your studies. So, plagiarism is a kind of ethical violation. It violates norms and rules and practices that we should adhere to as a part of academic honesty. So, this is what the concept of plagiarism means. There are different types of plagiarism. Broadly speaking, we can see 6 types of plagiarism. The first one is direct plagiarism. It is otherwise called verbatim plagiarism or copy and paste plagiarism. Direct plagiarism is the process of an author copying the text of another author word for word without the use of quotation marks or without proper citation and passing it as his or her own idea. It is the process of an author copying the text of another author word for word without citation and passing it as one's own. For example, the teacher asked you to write an assignment. You browsed the internet and got a complete paragraph related to your assignment. You took the whole paragraph, word by word, from the source text and included it in your assignment without saying you have taken it from this source. This is called direct plagiarism or verbatim plagiarism or word for word plagiarism, where you don't make any changes at all. you are copying each and every word from another source or from another author and you pass it off as yours. A second form of plagiarism is mosaic plagiarism. It is also known as patch writing. You know the word patch and patch up. When you have your football punctured, you try to patch it up. So, mosaic or patch writing or patch plagiarism or mosaic plagiarism. This is the process of taking another person's text and using it in your writing, making minor changes like replacing words with synonyms or reordering the order of sentences in the text or trying to use similar words and similar expressions, or it is another way of, in another sense, mosaic plagiarism means taking small sentences from different sources and putting them together and presenting it as yours without acknowledging, without saying that you have taken this sentence from that source, another sentence from that source. This is why it is called a mosaic plagiarism or a patch writing, where you take small pieces from different sources and you put those sentences and text together to make a new text and which you present as yours. This is called the second type of plagiarism or mosaic plagiarism. And the third kind of plagiarism is intentional or unintentional plagiarism. As the word shows, this kind of plagiarism happens when the writer is aware of it or when the writer is unaware of it. If an author knowingly copies from some other source and presents that idea or word or text as his own, it is called intentional plagiarism. It is the process of copying a text or idea from another author and present it as yours with the full knowledge that you are doing it, you are conscious of its consequences, or you know that you are plagiarizing. Unintentional plagiarism, on the other hand, is the process of taking something from another source and presenting it as yours without your knowledge. In another sense, it's a process of taking information or idea from another author and presenting it as yours without knowing that that information has come out previously or has been published by another writer previously. Or in another sense, it is the process of using somebody's information in your writing without you being aware of its consequences or without you being aware of how to cite properly. Or to be in simple terms, unintentional plagiarism is the act of stealing somebody's idea without knowing that you are plagiarizing it. Either you are unaware of the concept of plagiarism, or you don't know from which source you have taken it, or you don't know its source. The next kind of plagiarism is paraphrasing. This is one of the most common types of plagiarism seen. Paraphrasing is a kind of plagiarism in which someone's writing is used in your writing with minor changes in sentences and ideas. In another sense, it is the process of rewording a text that you have taken from another author by using new words, or by changing some sentence structures, or by replacing some of the words and expressions in the source text, then presenting it as your own text, your own idea. To speak it or to speak about it in other words, paraphrasing is changing a few words of a text that you have taken from another source, then making small alterations here and there, then presenting the text as yours. The next kind of plagiarism is self plagiarism, which is also known as auto plagiarism. It often happens in academic circles. It is a kind of plagiarism in which the writer himself or herself reuses a text which he or she has used previously for some purpose. Even if you are quoting an information from an article which you have written previously in a new article without citing that this was published before, and I have taken it from my own article published before, if you don't say that, it is called self plagiarism. For example, to say that you have published two research articles. Sometimes some people do like this. They take half of the old article and make some small additions or small expansion of the same idea and present the new one as something altogether a new product, a new article. It becomes self plagiarism because you don't say in references and in citation area that much of what you have written in the article was previously published in one of your own articles. Another perspective of self plagiarism is that if you are submitting, for example, for first year degree, you submitted an assignment paper. Then, when you came to third year, when you got a question of the same nature from another teacher, if you are representing your old assignment by making very, very few changes in the same thing and reusing the old thing again for another purpose, it is called self plagiarism. So, auto plagiarism or self plagiarism happens when the writer himself or herself reuses what he or she has written once for a new purpose without saying that it has been used previously for an old purpose. From another angle, auto plagiarism happens when you have written a poem for a magazine, then the same poem you sent to another magazine for publication. This is called self plagiarism. And the next form of plagiarism is ghostwriting. And the very word is very interesting, ghostwriting. Something written by a ghost. This is the kind of plagiarism in which you seek the help of another person to write an article or to write a research paper, and the other person does it for you, and finally you put your name and give it for publication. It is a kind of plagiarism in which the author seeks professional help from another source and presents the work as his or hers. This is called ghostwriting. To give you a very simple example, the college magazine editor asked you to write a poem to the magazine. Unfortunately, you were not good at writing poems, so you asked your friend to write a poem for you. And when the poem was complete, you put your name and gave that to be published in the magazine. It is called ghost writing, where the actual writer is unseen, whereas the seen writer is not the actual writer. This is the concept of ghost writing. So these are the major types of plagiarism. And how to avoid plagiarism is another small topic in the module. And there are many ways to avoid plagiarism because plagiarism is a punishable offense. It is an infringement of copyright, and you can end up in trouble if you plagiarize. People can, or the actual author can take legal actions against you if you are found plagiarizing. So, especially in academic circle, in the course of studies, we have to be very conscious of the consequences of plagiarism, and there are many ways to avoid plagiarism, the tendency to plagiarize. One is to have a sound awareness of the consequences of plagiarism, how dangerous it is to plagiarize, how a plagiarized document can take you to the court. So, creating awareness of the consequences of plagiarism is one way of avoiding plagiarism. And a second way to avoid plagiarism is stop procrastination. Procrastination, the word means to put off, to keep delaying things. See, we tend to plagiarize because we don't have time to do things. Basically, because we were putting off our duties and things. So, if you are delaying to do things, if you are postponing your duties from today to tomorrow, from tomorrow to day after tomorrow, finally you will end up in plagiarizing because you will not have sufficient time to do it. So, another important way to avoid plagiarism is avoid procrastination. A third way to avoid plagiarism is developing better note taking ability. Note taking ability refers to listing out the sources that you have read in the course of writing something and properly acknowledging the source. For example, if you have read a book, then try to list the title, the name of the author, the publisher, and the key points that you have noted from the book so that you can easily cite it later on when you try to include those points in your writing. The way to avoid plagiarism is try to convert the ideas that you have got from another text to your own language and present it in your own way. Try to develop ideas you got from another source, present it in your own language so it becomes yours. So, paraphrasing ideas you have taken from another source and presenting it in your own perspective and in your own language is another way of avoiding plagiarism. The next way to avoid plagiarism is cite properly the sources that you have taken. If you have used any material from any source, try to cite it properly. Try to say that you have taken it from this source and that is the original source and you're just using it in your writing. And another powerful way of avoiding plagiarism is using plagiarism checkers. Plagiarism checkers are softwares used to locate the sources of information that you have used in your writing. So, before submitting an article or before submitting an assignment, you can go to the internet and run a plagiarism check. Softwares like Turnitin, Authenticate are some of the examples of plagiarism checker softwares. Then, still another way to avoid plagiarism is make reviewing methods very strict. For example, if you send an article to a journal for publication, the journal has to review the article very, very strictly to make sure that it is not plagiarized. If you submit an assignment to the teacher, it's the responsibility of the teacher to see that you haven't plagiarized. Or if the teacher finds the article or the assignment mostly plagiarized, the teacher should return it. So, making review methods stronger is another way of avoiding plagiarism. Then, creating better awareness of the legal impacts of plagiarism, the consequences it has on the person, his character, academic integrity. So, creating a better sense of academic honesty is another way to avoid plagiarism. This is all about today's lessons on plagiarism. If you find it's very useful, try to subscribe and also to share this with other students who would find it equally useful.